All the girls that are being 20 right now and absolute whores in the club, whatever not, in 10 years are going to be 30, trying to settle down and realize that all the good guys are taken. They're going to complain that they were ran through their whole life, but while they were partying for the past 10 years, all the good girls got cuffed by the good guys. And so now when they look at all the men that are options, they're going to be competing with the now 20-year-old good girls and be stuck. Why? Because all the good guys are gone. You missed your chance being a fucking whole bitch.
You know what's funny to me about these modern day women? They want you men to chase them. They can't chase you. You guys have to chase them. And they want you to chase them, and when you get them, they expect you to spend all your money on them. They expect you to pay all their bills. They want you to take them to fancy restaurants and buy them expensive gifts and fly them out. And the only thing they are going to give you in return is some tart coochie. Tart coochie that has a lot of mileage on it. Coochie that's been ran up in by everyone. They don't want to cook for you. They don't want to clean for you. They don't want to inspire you. They don't want to motivate you. It's all about them. They want the princess treatment. But in order for you to get that, you have to chase them.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently, medical studies show that a blowjob a week will reduce a man's risk of heart disease. So don't be stingy, girls. Save a life.
Wow. I have a lot of people to disappoint today.
You call women fat. You say that they shouldn't have
Are they
abortions.
fat?
You say that
Are
they
they
have
fat?
STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body positive thing, and it is complete nonsense.
So I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee. I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first.
Most women in the West are overweight. That's why we have the body positivity movement in the West. These feminists triggered in the video just don't want women to face accountability, but they got no problem calling men dusty, broke, deadbeat, or losers. Maybe if that overweight divorcee didn't want to be called that, maybe, just maybe, she should not be that. Maybe if she kept her weight in check, she might not have gotten divorced. They like sugarcoating things. Exactly, which never motivates them to actually change. It's there to protect their fragile egos. Before we go on with the video, let me quickly get to the comment of the day. Shout out to Megabytes, a loyal fan of ours, who shared, "When do men get restorative payments for raising children that they were deceived into believing were theirs?" They really gotta make that a thing, don't you all agree? Anyway, please don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It could be the funniest, the most liked, or one that moved me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you could be our very next winner. So be sure to hit that like and sub button too, as the support means so much, y'all. So now let's get right back into the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
Ladies, have you ever wondered why some men choose Wonder Bread women over you? And when I say Wonder Bread, I'm just talking about girls who are a bit more plain, a bit more basic, average. And you, on the other hand, are like a divine French croissant and you're...
The lack of accountability continues to baffle me, and the constant need to blame someone else or put another person down in order to feel better about something not working out for you, instead of looking at yourself and thinking, maybe I'm the problem. Saying another woman is plain or basic or average shouldn't make you feel better about why things aren't working out for you. And if it does, then there's a deep-rooted issue there. And let's also not forget about what's in here, because a lot of the time, croissants are pretty hollow.
A so-called plain Jane or Wonder Bread woman keeps the peace and quiet at home, while the female with a so-called personality is loud and obnoxious. Outgoing is womanese for a flirt or a female who's trying to get the attention of many men. The SOS Smash Me Out Batman signal. It's no coincidence that a majority of female comedians who are the most attention-seeking women are HOEs, who tell nothing but jokes about their dirty snatch and sleeping around. Amy Schumer was the most famous case. That's why she banned, because no below-average man would want her. Croissants are both hollow and a bit flaky. And overpriced, may I add. Female comments, also, what's wrong with being average? We really need to stop thinking that average is bad. That's the catch most feminists and thoughts seem to not understand. They're overthinking the room. An average female doesn't need to do anything extra besides being polite, kind, fit, and friendly. That's all what most men need. And these feminists are doing more work for nothing. They're going to college, wasting their prime years and getting 6 figures in debt when, if they just stayed a virgin at 18 and married the highest value male that they can find, they'd be much happier and stress-free. This is why most millionaires marry the plain 7s, because those 7s have figured out that they need to bring more to the table than their looks. Because there's always better looking women out there. So they become an asset and do things that make the man appreciate them more.
Need men? Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do you need a man?
Oh, God.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world?
Young liberal women are some of the least informed, most discriminatory people out there. And it's like, I look at single guys and honestly, I get it. If I were a guy single looking at like people like this as my dating prospects, I 100% would be running the other way. We'll see if these women are still so keen on not needing men 20 years in the future when all they have are their cats and their wine.
They claim they don't need men while using a smartphone that was invented by men, which uses the internet that was also invented by men and maintained by men, while also enjoying a safe night out because of the men in the police force, whose mere presence stops degenerates from doing bad things to them. And the list goes on. 70% of the men they ignore are the ones running this whole society with countless thankless hard jobs that are critical. Feminist women are some of the worst people on the planet, and that's why they end up being cat ladies and alcoholics. What about they fathers? They don't have fathers or have one around long enough to influence them positively. This is why they're so quick to disrespect men. We are all getting passports for a drama-free future. That's what these thoughts don't realize, is that men in the West don't need them, because men can always go overseas to find better women. They all say no, wait till they get to 30 to 45. Right now, at their SMV prime, they're getting attention from men everywhere, but what they don't realize is that the attention to screw is much different than the attention for a relationship. And the relationship value is their true value in the dating market. But in all honesty, I can't wait to see the future videos of them crying after it shows them saying they don't need men. It'll be the biggest self-own.
I don't know what's better, is these dudes fighting back about taking their gym back and not being called gym creeps anymore, or this drizzle, because girl, the way these men are fighting back has me cackling. I am in love with this drizzle, because the way these women are losing their damn minds, and these men's comment sections are getting blown the hell up. I don't know which one I like more. You know what? I do know. I love the drizzle more. I love the drizzle more, because you have so many delusional women out here thinking that they were doing something with their, what is it, 4B, 4A, for don't give a shit. And they expect these men to just roll over and take it. These women have done nothing short of absolutely obliterate men for the last few years. Now you're going to learn what consequences are, because these men aren't going to take it anymore. They're not going to take it anymore. So the masculinity, the machismo, what is it, the high value, all of the garbage that these women put out. Y'all are gonna learn. Put your boots on. Put your boots on, because I cannot wait for these construction workers, for these men that do these disgusting, dirty jobs so women's hands can stay clean. I can't wait till they start quitting. And then we're all gonna be shit out of luck. Because those women that demanded that these men stop being so masculine, that all of this masculinity is toxic. Lace up your boots, ladies. Lace up your boots. Get out there and go take those jobs, because, you know, everybody should be equal, right? You can do what a man can do. Lace those boots up.
We men have officially stopped taking it almost a decade ago with MGTOW. The soft guy era is just to troll these thoughts back, fighting fire with fire. These bimbos are entertaining when they're confused and mad, and I hope men come up with more trends on social media to troll them. If these females didn't own themselves, my channel wouldn't exist. And to answer her scenario about men quitting, men are quitting by becoming passport bros or going full on MGTOW. This is why there's a massive shortage of plumbers, which cost the economy billions of dollars. I hope these blue-collar men start a new trend that charges these feminists, thoughts, and deadbeat single moms double for critical services as whole, and call it the 304 tax, because society has been ruined by feminism.
If women are drafted to the military, I am most excited to see the confrontation between commanding officers and the girls.
Between commanding officers and the girls? Oh dear.
Think we're gonna let you yell at us? You think we're gonna do something without a please and thank you?
Please allow me to introduce a little reality into this situation, because personnel in the military are under legal obligation to follow all lawful orders that they are given. And a please and a thank you are not required.
We've all had controlling ex-boyfriends. We know not to put up with that bullshit.
It's almost as if they're not understanding that it's not just men that are in positions of authority in the military.
Like, let's sit down and have a conversation about what you want and what I want, and we'll reach a happy medium. Because there's no way I'm doing what you want when you use that tone with me. You think you can push us around like you do with these men? Think again, baby. You're gonna learn some manners.
And I think one would learn very quickly that having a bad attitude and obvious problems with people in positions of authority wouldn't get one very far. But most importantly, the Uniform Code of Military Justice doesn't play.
If there was a draft that included women, which there isn't by the way, 50 years of feminism, and that's still an equal right they haven't fought for or gotten. If females were to get drafted, they'd refuse to go and protest. I bet they'd suddenly get pregnant. A lot of females in the military, I think around 30%, actually end up pregnant to avoid going overseas. The Delulu is strong in this one. The drill sergeant will be having a field day with this lot. I don't think the feminist realizes soldiers can get shot for not obeying orders or deserting if the war is serious enough. I see someone scrubbing toilets with a toothbrush, just saying. Honestly, I can see a bunch of feminists suddenly offering to scrub the toilets and cook for the soldiers if they were to be drafted, just to avoid the front line. So suddenly, they'll discover their feminine side and gender roles. I'm getting flashbacks of getting thrown through a wall because I dropped onto my CO's boots. Today's military is soft compared to 40 years ago where the drill sergeants could physically harm the recruits.
Alright, let's see what the internet's mad about today. She's in her wedding dress. She's dancing around. And he's not noticing. Okay. Caption reads, 9 years married today, failed challenge. I'm guessing by the laughing emoji that she intended this to be lighthearted and funny. And according to the comments, that makes her a dumb, ignorant woman who doesn't understand how toxic her marriage really is. The top comments all start referencing the TikTok couch guy incident, which, if you're unfamiliar, was a super viral TikTok video where a girl went to surprise her boyfriend at his college dorm, only for him to suspiciously be sitting with 2 girls and multiple guys. This is also known as another incident where the TikTok mob got it horribly wrong, because it's been 2 years since then, and that couple is still together. So might finally be time to admit you were wrong about that one too. I'm sure you already know the sage advice that rang through next. Divorce, babes, divorce. People have divorced for less. I feel like you should check his phone. Check his phone. The man's fingers aren't even moving once while he's looking at it. He's not texting nobody. She told him, I'm gonna go get ready. So he's like, all right, I'm putting the game on. If bro was actually doing anything insidious, he'd be doing one of these every single time he even sensed she was nearby. Dude was just chilling. And then there's this one. Hey girl, alongside the obvious, he's also wearing a puffer vest with short sleeves. Hope this helps. That was actually probably the least helpful of any of the comments, which is saying something because none of these comments are very helpful at all. Y'all, she shared a 15-second clip. You have seen 15 seconds of a 9-year marriage and have unilaterally determined with all the confidence in the world that it is definitively not a worthwhile union. That makes you look kind of stupid. And I bet you on that 16th second, he did notice the dress. And would you look at that, a very quick 5-second investigation into her Instagram proves my theory. Instagram also showed me a woman who loves her husband. They've been together for almost a decade. They live a life of wealth, prosperity, and privilege that most of us would punch our own siblings in the face for. This woman is like an actual Barbie living in an actual dream world, and all of you clueless, bitter Bettys hate men so much that you're desperate to paint her as a victim of some sort just because she spent 15 seconds of her day not being stared at. You may not care about how much you've insulted her husband, but I would hope as these women who empower other women, you would care about how much you just insulted her, to make the assertion that you know more about her own marriage than she does and that she's too stupid to see the real toxicity of it. Y'all are getting way too confident making snap judgments about people's entire lives based off of less than a minute of content. Sometimes it's not the creator of the content who's the partner shamer, sometimes it's the commenters, and for that, you get the no bottle.
Notice it's single bitter women giving marriage advice despite the fact that they're failures at relationships. That wife, although she's attractive, knows the score, that her husband is more valuable than she is, and the fact that the husband doesn't cater to all her needs and whims means he has respect for himself and has his priorities straight. The fact that he's still making her earn his attention means that she'll continue to stay interested and try to win him over daily. He's also disciplined enough to get his work done, which means there's structure in the household. There's a reason why despite the divorce rates are at 50% and women are filing for them at 80% of the time, this couple is still married after 9 years. I'm pretty sure the wife has learned to live with something that the man does that annoys her because at the grand scheme of things, it's not worth divorcing a great man over. She won. She got the commitment from the successful Chad, who probably works a respectable white-collar job that she can brag about. What on earth does the puffer vest comment even mean? The MRA female in the video responds, I've heard people say it's the calling card of crypto bros who are also often unfairly assessed. I think it means that he's a player or a cheater because apparently a puffer vest is what players wear. Not to mention, given the house and the vibe he gives off, looks like a businessman that stays busy. Probably was finishing up work stuff, lol. The husband looks like the type of man a lot of women would dream about marrying. I guess these bedwenches in the comments want them to divorce so they can get smashed out by him. This is a reason why so-called female friends sabotage each other's relationships.
Hi, excuse me? We have equality. Shitty things happen to women and men. Hi, no we don't. Shitty things happen to everyone regardless of gender, but shitty things don't happen to men simply because they're men. Men are victims of violent crime too. Again, not simply because they're a man. They're victims because of other reasons, like their sexual orientation or their race, but not because of their gender, unlike women, who are victims of violent crimes simply because they're a woman. I would like to focus on men right now, please. Okay, do you want to talk about the men that are committing a mass femicide in Mexico right now? Which cases have increased by 137% in the last 5 years? No. I want to talk about male victims. Okay, who's committing those crimes against those men? Woman. No. No. So whose behavior needs to change? What gender needs to hold their gender accountable? Woman. Get out. I win the debate. Nice! But shitty things don't happen to men simply because they're men.
Men don't get put on child support because women are angry with them for no reason. Men don't get denied the rights to see their child because they have spiteful people they're trying to co-parent with. Men are never literal punching bags because they're bigger and can't defend themselves. Men normally don't get the burden of providing for the household because they're men, even though women are capable of it too now. Men don't get denied emotions and feelings because they're men and they should be strong. Men don't have to walk on eggshells these days because they're men, because the way women are thinking these days. Yeah, men really just, nothing happens to men because they're men. You're totally correct. It goes both ways, man. Both sides in your video should be talked about.
And that's why feminists are the least married demographic in the world. They're so ignorant to how the world works. Because like this lady, most feminists in the West grew up in upper-class suburbs that have a super low crime and poverty rate, and the feminist herself probably has only been pumped and dumped by rich, snobby chads. Has she heard about the draft? Last time I checked, despite women getting the right to vote, they don't bear the same responsibility of men who vote. Let's see what people have had to say about it on the original feminist video. Top comment says, sorry, but there are things happening to men simply because they are men too. Here are a few examples. In response to the comment, 9, expect their men to be taller, stronger, richer than her. If these aren't enough reasons, I don't know what to tell you. Height is one man-specific thing that happens to men, or the lack of height. Men are expected to be taller and are looked down on by most attractive females in the West if they're short. And someone responds to the comment, poor little men. Point taken. Most men are invisible to females in the West. One of the most liked comments says, it's not a competition, just listen. That's projection. These feminists make it a competition on who's more oppressed in society, when it's not even close. Men are second-class citizens in the gynocentric dictatorship. And someone responds to the comment, and y'all choose to put yourself in danger by brainless choices. Last time I checked, men still dominated the most dangerous jobs, which are critical to keep the world running. Strange how the feminists aren't fighting for these jobs, but just the cushy CEO jobs in an air-conditioned office. Another feminist comments, ugh, they always say as well, it's only third world countries that aren't equal. There's nothing left to do here. They're so clueless. And the feminist in the video responds, exactly. Just because other countries have more severe gender inequalities does not mean this one doesn't have its own set of inequalities. Females in the West, especially if they're pretty, are the most privileged class in the world. I'm pretty sure she'd rather deal with the so-called inequalities in the Americas over Mexico, hence why she lives in a yuppie area in America. Yet, she's acting like Mexican women who are unfortunate to live in parts of Mexico where the cartels are the cops is a problem that every woman on the earth faces. Any corrupt developing country is going to be more dangerous to women. All in all, it's feminists like this and her privileged rants that do the greatest job driving men to MGTOW than any video I make. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.